This is Rail Vestro, aka James Robert Hermes, aka Saber Prime. I know what you're thinking. The video title says Prime Vehicons, so why are you staring at Optimus standing in front of the Fountain's TARDIS? Well, before I get into that, I'm just going to apologize in advance if I sound like crap right now. I've had a cold, I'm still getting over it. If I start coughing, you might see a sudden jump cut. So, about this Optimus here. I apologize if I'm pronouncing this wrong. I'm gonna put the name across the screen. MotoGP Fan 46 at TFW 2005 sent me the Jet Vehicon in exchange for 3 Prime Voyagers, one of which was Dreadwing. Dreadwing has a similar gun to this Optimus, which looks like this, if I can actually get it on camera. Dreadwing's gun, for whatever reason, when I got it, the gears in here were loose, so that the weight of the battery pack back here just kept it down because it couldn't hold up. So it stayed like this all the time. He fixed that so that it would actually work like it's supposed to and snap back like that. But I wanted to actually fix this gun so that it was loose, because I like it when it stays extended. This one does not. It doesn't even extend properly. I have to actually push that down, because otherwise it only goes to there. Instead of telling me how to fix this issue, he sent me this. So now I have a second gun for my Optimus. Originally, I had the idea because they're all Vehicons, they're drones, they don't officially have names. But because they're Vehicons, I decided to name them after the original Vehicons. Obviously, Jetstorm. I was going to call this one Tankor because there's no place to store his gun in vehicle mode, whereas this one has his gun stored under here, which is sometimes a pain in the butt to get under there. To solve the problem of not having a place to store this, sorry for the abrupt jump cut and sudden lighting change, I knocked over one of my lights while I was reaching over the camera. So, I was saying about the gun not being able to store on this one. Part of the reason I was able to get this, which is my first and only Takara figure, instead of getting the gun that he's supposed to come with, I got a second, let's get this on camera, Prid gun. So now I can store these under the wings, and they sort of match. Whoa. Everything's backwards in the viewfinder. It doesn't really look right from underneath, and yeah, they're not pointed straight because of these things right here. It can't point straight on this side, so just to make it match, I intentionally angle this one so it looks okay from the top, even though they're not pointed straight. Just don't look at it from the bottom. This one was going to be Tankor because of that gun, but now this one is Tankor because he's slightly bigger than the Prid mold. This is my first edition one. Oddly enough, these 3 Vehicons came from 3 different countries, because these 2 were never released in the US. This one came from Canada. Got it ordered off of Big Bad Toy Store. This one originally came from Japan, but because I bought it from, well, I traded it from somebody, the guy I mentioned earlier, whose name I probably mispronounced. He got this from Japan, and I technically got this from America, but it originally came from Japan. Oddly enough, the Canadian one is the easiest one I got a hold of. The American version, the one that came from my local Walmart, the one that should have been the easiest, wasn't. Because Walmart had this put on their shelf before they had it in their computer system. It technically was not even supposed to be released yet. I went to the cash register to pay for it. They couldn't find it in the computer system, and they would not sell it to me. The very next day, I go back to that Walmart. I look in the Transformers section, and I see it there again. This time, because they told me it wasn't in the computer system yet, and they put it right back on the shelf, I decided they better sell it this time because they put it back. I told the person at the cash register about this too. And the second time I tried to get it, I finally got it. It should not have been that much trouble to get this. But it seems I've been having a lot of problems with my local Walmart because they rarely stock anything at all. And the one time that I did actually find something new, it wasn't in their computer. But this one I thought for a long time that I was never going to get. Part of the reason I was able to get it was, again, because I didn't get his original gun. Am I even holding this on camera? I'm not paying attention. But the other part of the reason is because he's supposed to have stickers. There should be stickers going across the wings here. There should be a sticker on the front here for a little Decepticon logo. There's supposed to be stickers over this part where the headlight would be. And I believe that's all of the ones for vehicle mode. There's more that I'll point out once I get to robot mode. But yeah, that one I managed to get because it's incomplete and loose. I've seen some people selling them for a lot more than I got this one. I had to give away 3 Voyager class Prime figures to get it. But that's still cheap compared to what else I've seen. And I don't think I'll be getting any more Japanese Takara figures, simply because this is the only one I was willing to get incomplete like that. And being my first Takara figure, I always wondered why this version of the mold was never released in the US. But having this in hand, these wings, especially right here where the plastic is the thinnest, it kind of reminds me of those plastic picnic knives. This would not fly by American safety standards. The tips are a little bit sharp, like not really sharp enough to hurt, but sharper than, again, sharper than an American toy would allow. The back wings seem okay, but these ones up here are really thin and kind of sharp if you're not really careful with it. So I'm going to cut away again, intentionally this time, and get these guys into robot mode. I'm not transforming them on camera because other toy reviewers have already showed the transformation on these guys, and I don't feel like trying to transform them on camera. This video is long enough as it is, so I'm just going to cut away from them looking like this. And I just realized I'm sounding like somebody else.